2 days later, Stern said he was asked to speak at the little chapel there at this Center for the Children of War. It was Easter Sunday, but he said he took as his text the text of the prodigal son. You guys remember the story. We've been teaching through it all month long. It's the story of Jesus in Luke 15, who had a lot of men and women of, notice this, doubtful reputation. People who had done, in the minds of religious people, terrible things. Doubtful reputation. They were hanging around Jesus, listening intently. The Pharisees and religion scholars were not pleased, not at all pleased. They growled. He takes in sinners and eats meals with them, treating them like old friends. Their grumbling triggered this story. And then Jesus, in fact, tells 3 stories in rapid-fire succession. The story of a man who had 100 sheep and lost one and went and found it. The story of a woman who had 10 coins and lost one and tore her house upside down to find it. And the story of 2 boys, one of whom demanded that his father give him his inheritance, who took it, who squandered it, who spent it on riotous living, who found himself in a pig pen far from home. But Jesus said, when he came to his senses, he realized that everything he'd ever wanted was back at home. The question is, would he be welcomed back at home? Because he not only had to deal with his father, but he also had to deal with an elder brother who evidently was not inclined to be a generous type of a guy. But the younger son, the first lost son, had the courage to get up from the pig pen and start to travel home. He was welcomed on the road by his dad, who showered him with kisses, who embraced him, who demanded that a huge celebration at great expense would be found. But he was rejected by an elder brother who couldn't understand why such a big deal would be made around somebody like this guy who'd taken his inheritance and spent it on riotous living. You know, I could see, as Richard Stearns talked about the story of the prodigal son to those children in Uganda, and he said that Michael and Joseph were sitting in the crowd. Michael and Joseph were blessed to be welcomed by brothers and sisters who got it. They were blessed to be welcomed by brothers and sisters who knew what it was to be where those boys had been. Sadly enough, few prodigals in this world come back to homes like that. And I am particularly concerned that far too many Christians and far too many Christian churches create environments that are controlled by elder brothers who just don't understand that it's not all about them, who think because they've done the right things, kept the rules, been faithful to the Father, that somehow, for some reason, well, somebody out there who's lost and far away shouldn't get the kind of welcome home that the prodigal got from the Father. I've been trying over recent weeks to challenge our church over and over that we not be a church of elder brothers, that we share the heart of the Father, that we join in the celebration for those who are lost and who are now found, for those who were dead but are now alive. I'm going to share a message with you now called 4 Pleadings to the Elder Brother. But first, I want you to hear and see a poem written in response to this series by our own Russ Hammonds. It's called appropriately, Ode to the Elder Brother.